Talk about marvelous. Hey everyone, I'm Rebecca and welcome to Watch Mojo. Today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 best decisions by Marvel.
Please, kind sir, do not cut my hair. No!
That means we're looking at Marvel's smartest, most successful decisions when it comes to the big screen. To be clear, that means we're including everything that Marvel Entertainment had a hand in, not just the MCU. Alright, let's get to the list.
And I will always be there, old friend.
Number 10. Taking a chance on James Gunn and Guardians of the Galaxy. Before Guardians of the Galaxy came out in 2014, the interplanetary superhero team was far from a household name. And James Gunn wasn't exactly a big-name director either, best known for his films Slither and Super.
We're the Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yet Marvel's decision to take a risk on lesser-known Marvel characters and an indie director paid off big time. The Guardians movies are some of the MCU's most memorable, boasting plenty of humor, heart, action, and killer soundtracks. They catapulted Chris Pratt to superstardom, made audiences fall in love with a talking tree, and there isn't enough time in the day to discuss how hilarious Dave Bautista is as Drax.
His people are completely literal. Metaphors are gonna go over his head.
Nothing goes over my head. My reflexes are too fast. I would catch it.
I'm gonna die surrounded by the biggest idiots in the galaxy.
Number 9. Making Deadpool and Logan R-rated.
Guys, seriously, you don't want to do this.
Most superhero movies are limited to a PG-13 rating in order to broaden their audiences and take in a larger profit. Yet, surprising few fans, but probably a few executives, some of Marvel's first big R-rated movies, Deadpool and Logan, did huge business.
Enjoy your weekend.
Weekend? Back up. Weekend?
The hard R rating gave them the maturity and immaturity that they needed to do the source material justice. While a PG-13 version of Deadpool was subsequently released, reviews were decidedly mixed.
What the f- Easy now, hey. The only F-bomb we're using around here is Fred Savage.
Sure, violence and adult language aren't requirements when catering to adult audiences, but they certainly didn't hurt in these films.
Don't be what they made you.
Number 8. Loki as the first big bad.
I changed.
So have I. Now fight me.
It's no secret that the Marvel Cinematic Universe has had something of a villain problem. And so, with their first big crossover film, it was crucial that they find a big bad worthy of bringing Earth's mightiest heroes together.
Send the rest.
Thankfully, with Loki, they got that and more. Although he began as Thor's nemesis, Loki is charismatic enough to stand toe-to-toe with any of the Avengers. His wide appeal owes more than a little to actor Tom Hiddleston, whose performance has made Loki a fan favorite.
I have been falling for 30 minutes!
Witty, sarcastic, ambitious, but also sympathetic, Loki broke the two-dimensional villain mold and helped make the Avengers an incredible film.
If it's all the same to you, I'll have that drink now.
Number 7. Recasting Hulk with Mark Ruffalo.
Hulk!
The Incredible Hulk may not have been the massive hit that Iron Man was, but it was still reasonably well received, and Edward Norton made for a memorable Bruce Banner/Hulk. Considering these facts, it was surprising and a little worrying at the time to hear that the role was being recast.
And what if the other guy says no?
Thankfully, Mark Ruffalo did a wonderful job of filling Norton's shoes, arguably bringing even more nuance to Banner, while making the Hulk much more relatable than in the 2008 film.
That's my secret, Cap. I'm always angry.
Like Chris Evans as Captain America, he fits the role so well that, in hindsight, it's difficult to imagine anyone else playing the character.
I see this as an absolute win.
Number 6. Casting Hugh Jackman as Wolverine.
Ladies and gentlemen, tonight's winner and still king of the cage, the Wolverine.
As brilliant as it was to cast acclaimed thespians like Patrick Stewart and Ian McKellen in X-Men, we'd argue that it was even smarter to take a chance on then little-known Australian actor Hugh Jackman.
You alright?
Jackman may not have had Wolverine's comic book build, at least in his first outings, but he has the attitude, ability to embody Logan's rage and regret in equal measure, and he has great comic timing when needed.
What exactly are you professor of, Mr. Logan?
Art.
Jackman went on to play the character for 17 years, showing a level of commitment and dedication to the role that few actors are willing to give. For fans, this translated into countless great moments, plus a level of slow-building character development rarely seen in an action franchise.
Take your friends and run. They'll keep coming and coming. You don't have to fight anymore.
Number 5. Building up to the first crossover.
Mr. Stark, you become part of a bigger universe. You just don't know it yet. Who the hell are you?
Given how many studios have attempted to emulate the concept since, it can be easy to forget just how revolutionary a superhero team-up movie was back in 2012. The Avengers blew audiences away, and multiple crossover films later, it still holds up. Part of what makes the film so successful, however, is the foundation that the MCU laid before it.
You gonna be okay?
Yeah, I had a date.
Marvel released carefully crafted films for its individual heroes before attempting to bring them together. Not only did this create hype, it also helped us to get to know these versions of the characters in their own respective worlds before seeing them play off of one another.
I know, it's great, right?
Another!
If only Marvel's imitators had learned from their example. Number 4. Casting Tom Holland as Spider-Man.
You're the Spiderling, crime-fighting spider. You're Spider-Boy?
Spider-Man.
There have been a lot of Spider-Man over the last couple of decades. That brings with it a risk of burnout and a whole lot of pressure for any newcomer to don the iconic outfit. But thankfully, Marvel got it just right when they cast Tom Holland.
I don't want to go. I don't want to go, sir. Please. Please, I don't want to go. I don't want to go.
Holland brings a wonderful, youthful enthusiasm to the role, and it's infectious. His Peter Parker and Spider-Man are a pleasure to see in action, with an ideal balance between the character's humorous and vulnerable sides.
But Dr. Strange was there, right? And he was like, it's been 5 years, come on, they need us. And then he started doing the yellow sparkly thing that he does all the time. What are you doing?
Holland's casting also worked well for Marvel, since many of its male leads tend to be around the same age, and Holland's youth gave younger audiences a hero to relate to.
I really like you.
I really like you too.
Number 3. Giving their filmmakers greater autonomy.
Hey man, we're about to jump on that ginormous spaceship. You wanna come?
Well, you do seem like you're in desperate need of leadership.
Why, thank you.
Marvel Studios has kept a pretty tight leash on their directors, at least in the MCU. Their stringent set of guidelines and restrictions reportedly played a part in what drove Joss Whedon away after Avengers: Age of Ultron.
Oh, I have all these restrictions, but I also have all these guidelines.
Therefore, it's great to see that they've lessened their hardline stance and have started allowing directors to have more input. James Gunn's vision for Guardians of the Galaxy was mentioned earlier, but directors Taika Waititi and Ryan Coogler imprinted Thor Ragnarok and Black Panther respectively with their own inimitable styles.
The Grandmaster uses it for his good times, orgies and stuff.
Did you just say the Grandmaster used it for orgies?
Yeah. Don't touch anything.
And given that all 3 of these directors are slated to return for more, Marvel seems to realize they've got a good thing going. Number 2. Bringing Spider-Man into the MCU.
All right, I've run out of patience. On to Ruse!
Spider-Man is unequivocally Marvel's biggest name hero, or at least he was before the MCU. But in the 1990s, Marvel sold off the movie rights to the character, along with many others. Fortunately, Marvel was able to achieve a deal with Sony that got us Tom Holland's Spider-Man in their cinematic universe. In 2019, Marvel and Sony had a falling out over the future of the character, giving Marvel fans a collective heart attack. However, the companies were soon able to reach a new, rather secretive deal.
You guys are nice.
What we do know is that there will be at least 2 more Spider-Man movies in the MCU, before we may have to panic again. Please don't leave us, Spidey.
Sorry.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1. Casting Robert Downey Jr. as Iron Man.
Truth is, I am Iron Man.
Marvel Studios has made a lot of good decisions to get them where they are now, but none of them has paid off quite as much as casting Robert Downey Jr. as Tony Stark, also known as Iron Man.
Stark, we need a plan of attack.
I have a plan. Attack.
RDJ's compelling and charismatic performance fit like a glove, and was the perfect choice to kick off and often lead the Marvel Cinematic Universe. It doesn't hurt that Downey's personal journey paralleled Marvel's own, both having fallen on hard times, but managing to dramatically turn their fortunes around.
Sorry. I'm a piping hot mess.
It's fair to say that without Downey, we wouldn't have the MCU as we know it. Thank you, sir. You are Iron Man.
And I am Iron Man.
Well, my congratulations to Kevin Feige, I guess. I don't know. So what do you guys think? What has been Marvel's smartest decision on the big screen so far? Let us know in the comments, or come talk to me on Twitter or Instagram at Rebecca Brayton. Also, be sure to like and subscribe, and please watch this marvelous other video.